All right, guys, how's it going? In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an article by Ben Jacobs, and it's titled Revealed: What is Really Happening with Virgil van Dijk's Liverpool Contract Talks. This is a very catchy headline. I think it's interesting. But I haven't looked at this article yet, and I'm going to go through it with you. Now, talking of headlines, I have had some absolute morons on the Facebook Cop Talk page today commenting on one of the Virgil van Dijk videos because they don't pay attention. They comment without watching the video, and they'll do that with a news article. We can type out a news article, and explain everything in black and white, very simple, that, 7, 8, 9-year-old could probably understand. Yeah, in fact, yeah, they would. But some of these people are thick as two short planks, and they run the mouth. They run the mouse. So I'm going to start putting these little fucking comments, I think, pinned on my videos. For people that are new to my channel, if you're from around these parts, you know the score. You're not thick, right? So basically, this is a single quotation mark, or you might refer to these as quotation marks or whatever, right? We're gonna have to do this in every fucking video, I think. Used to emphasize something in a title. This is what I've typed up here. That means I'm quoting someone or something if you see it in the title of a video. If you don't understand basic titling, this channel probably isn't for you. If you are new and you actually pay attention to the contents and opinions in my videos before commenting, you will see I'm usually reviewing claims being made in the media when quotation marks are being used in a title. Like I just said, my regular followers know this, as they're a bright bunch. Please don't run your mouth about any of my videos if you've not watched them and have only read the titles, as you'll make yourself look very silly. And that's a polite way of saying it. If I didn't add the quotation marks, right, then yes, they could be misconstrued as clickbait, but that's the whole point. Most of the time, with these things, we are reviewing the clickbait, reviewing the headlines. And that's why the quotation marks in a title are there to help my followers distinguish things. So when they see this in a title, they know I'm quoting something or someone or whatever. Usually if I'm quoting someone, it would be two. If it's a headline, I tend to use one. I can't believe I have to spell this out to these people, but they are thick as fuck. I just needed to get that off my chest, guys. So if you see that pinned to my videos, you know why. The title of this video, I don't even know what it's going to be called yet. I mean, really, it should be Revealed: What is Really Happening with Virgil van Dijk's Liverpool Contract Talks? Because that would show to people, hey, this is a headline that we are looking at. Honestly, they talk about people being toxic, on X, for example. I mean, to be honest, there's some on there today as well. They're absolutely thick as two short planks. But Facebook really is for some really dense people. It really is, guys. Honestly, that's nothing new. I've known that for years, obviously. Can't stand the platform, me, to be honest. Anyway, rant over. Let's go through this article together and see if this is, a revelation. It's revealed what is really happening. That's why it's got my attention. Ben Jacobs isn't a journalist that I pay attention to. Ben Jacobs, those of you that were around these parts back when FSG tried to, put the club up for sale or whatever back in, was it November 2023? I think it might have been. Time flies when you're having fun. He kind of made a name for himself around then. He kind of piggybacked on all the claims and news and ran exclusives and then denied the exclusives. So you can make an exclusive that something's going to happen, and then 2 weeks later you can do a follow-up and say, oh, talks fell through. So did it really exist in the first place? Ben Jacobs came to light from that, really, to be honest with you. Could be a really nice chap. Don't know. I don't think that I would describe him as a clickbaiter or anything like that. I think Ben Jacobs might do some decent writing and maybe a bit of decent commentary. But as far as I'm concerned, he's not someone that I pay attention to as a rule regarding Liverpool Football Club. But nevertheless, I would like to see. It's a while since I've seen anything from him to do with Liverpool. It's on givemesport.com, so that already puts me off. Givemestrength.com, it might as well be called. I do apologise. I've got a sore throat, bad throat. I shouldn't even be recording this video, to be honest with you. I'm supposed to be kicked back now. I was going to have a bath after my stream this afternoon and relax for the evening, but I haven't even made it to the bathroom. Yeah, you might look. If you're new to my channel, no one cares what you think. Like this, I'm talking to my friends that watch my videos. All right. Okay, so let's go with it. Let's see if he does reveal anything and if he tells us what is really happening. Okay, and then you can comment and tell me what you think. Virgil van Dijk has confirmed his future remains open and undecided as he continues to engage with Liverpool over a new deal. He then goes on to say, I'm not going to leave any bits out. The only bits I'm leaving out are things that you know. So I don't need to include Virgil van Dijk's quotes because we've gone over them in a previous video and we know what he said about he doesn't know what will happen next year. If anyone says they do know what's happening with me, they're lying to your face. We know all that, right? So we'll skip the quotes. It goes on to say, there's like a little sub-headline, if you like, Van Dijk prioritising conversations with Reds. And then it says, central defender not negotiating with suitors at this stage. I would agree with that. Virgil van Dijk wants to stay at Liverpool Football Club. Everything he says and has indicated is about staying at Liverpool Football Club. I don't believe his agents are trying to negotiate with anyone else at the moment. They'll be doing their homework and keeping doors open and things like that. So there's nothing exciting yet. Let's see what it says. The first thing to note is that Van Dijk is giving priority to Liverpool. Well, I guess, he wants to stay at Liverpool, so that's going to be the case. He is not negotiating with other clubs, which is the same approach Roberto Firmino took when departing Anfield in the summer of 2023. Okay, we don't need to know about that. Van Dijk's situation is complicated by a number of factors. His age, a potentially diminished role over the tenure of a new contract, and the fact that Reds are not guided by sentiment or even worth right now. Well, again, we know this. These are things we know. So this is, to me, so far, this is regurgitation. This is a repeat of what, that we're fed all the time, if you like, from the real journals, I think, no offence, but from people that I do pay attention to, Paul Joyce at the Times, David Ornstein at The Athletic. Yes, we know they're managed and well controlled and shit like that. That sounds paranoid, doesn't it? What I mean is they're not going to put something out there against the club's wishes, yeah? They want the Netherlands international to stay. This is Liverpool, but the length of the deal and money on offer are very much guided by data. Well, we know. We know that, yeah. Including long-term projections on form, fitness and value, and these type of renewals for players over the age of 30 tend to be approached quite dispassionately. Liverpool are optimistic Van Dijk will extend his stay even if nothing is agreed yet. And he talks about Mo Salah, but the club always anticipated negotiations would take this long. There has been no unexpected. I can't read all the article out. You're not supposed to, but I'm not leaving anything out that would make him come across as revealing something. Put it that way, right? You go read it yourself, and you'll see that I'm being fair. Van Dijk must also consider what next season brings, especially if Liverpool had another centre-back this summer, as anticipated. And we are. I think we discussed that on a live stream this afternoon. He will be considering his next move in light of the 2026 World Cup. Next headline, Van Dijk and Salah are being eyed by Al Hilal. It is true that Al Hilal have Van Dijk on their radar alongside Salah. We know all this. Talks about the FIFA Club World Cup and when they can sign players and things like that. There is nothing else here. All to do with the Saudis. Saudi Pro League sporting director Michael Emenalo knows now is the wrong time to push the defender for an answer since he is entirely focused on the Carabao Cup final. So what he's alluding to here is there's interest in Virgil van Dijk, Mo Salah, etc., but we all know this, right? I'm not nitpicking here, right? I'm not deliberately trying to do this. I am genuinely going through this in real time, right? There is nothing in a widely reported meeting between Nasser Al-Khelaifi and Van Dijk following Liverpool's Champions League exit to PSG. It was not planned at all. Well, of course not. It was in the corridors. Al-Khelaifi simply embraced Van Dijk before the pair expressed mutual respect. The League One tabletoppers sporting director Luis Campos then joined for a brief chat. Just talking about that, I think when you see things like that, or that particular incident, you shouldn't jump to conclusions and go, oh my God, they're discussing a transfer. But I also think you'd be very naive as well if you just went, there's no way they're talking about a transfer. Because people can banter and stuff. Well, if you don't get sorted, you know where we are. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. But you'd have to, take a bit less money, blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay? PSG, their ongoing situation seems to be that they want to target youngsters. Never say never in football. But again, I'm not seeing anything new here. In fact, it says PSG are building a youth-led project and are moving away from signing older stars on big money. Although there may be some exceptions to this model. Van Dijk has not been offered anything to date from the French champions. And the chance meeting was certainly not to discuss a move. All right? I'd agree with that, wouldn't you? Both Van Dijk and Al Khalifi would hardly use the Anfield Tunnel to hold that type of conversation, even if there was substance to the links. Whether Van Dijk stays or goes, Liverpool will be first to know. And if they were wanting to sign him, then they would be doing it properly, right? So we know this. We don't assume, he's having a conversation, He probably used his head, Van Dijk. I would have probably done something like that, to be honest with you. If I was in his situation, I'd be like, if I go and stand with them, some silly can't take a picture. This will get. Do you know what I mean? So it's common sense. Believe it or not, that is the end of the article. So I just want to remind you about the headline, right? Revealed. So this is what did you? I want you to be honest with me. Don't disagree with me. What was revealed in that article? What is really happening with Virgil van Dijk's Liverpool contract talks? What? I don't see what's new here. This is basically, I could have read that to you from Paul Joyce every month since the summer. We know what's happening. They're all playing fucking hardball. It's a case of who gives in first and all that. Do you know the thing that I keep mentioning this on live streams? People say, well, the club shouldn't just give them deals because they might tail off their form, right? That's very true. But think about it, if you sign a player on a 2 or 3 year contract and after a year his form decreases because of the data, right? And it shows that it's decreased. What happens to that player? He doesn't play, right? He's on the bench, yeah? Do you think Virgil van Dijk and Mo Salah are going to want to sit on the bench for the last years of their contract, their career, should I say? That's not the case. You could give a contract to a youngster and he might be like, okay, I'm getting weighed in, I'm all right. But these are players at the end of their careers. So if they found themselves in an unfortunate situation, then, I would assume, right, that Virgil van Dijk and Mo Salah sat on the bench, they're not playing, they're just sat there turning, what's the point? I'm not even getting a game. Do you think they're just going to sit there and they're the kind of players that would be happy with that? Or do you think they'd turn around and go, all right, I'm not getting a game, I'm not performing to the standards you expect on my age, or, it's the natural, decline of my career and that, so release me, let me go, I'll go to another club, sell me in the window and I'll go, no problem. And I know that's what would happen. So that's why that one doesn't wash with me when people say, you can't just be giving them contracts. The form might tell. Salah's already looking a little bit slower. Do you know what I mean? But it also comes this thing in football. It's very rarely displayed, and that's loyalty and appreciation. And I think your captain is the one that, this isn't a dig at the current owners. The owners employ people to run the club and make those decisions. John Henry doesn't sit there saying, do this, do that. He employs people to take that shit away from him, right? So the people making these decisions are Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes, okay? And I'm sure the FSG say, we employ you. If that's what you think, we'll do what you think, right? Okay, otherwise, what's the fucking point of bringing them in the first place and making such a big, oh my God, look at this, a big deal about it? And I've totally thrown myself off course there. So that, actually, I've totally thrown myself off course. My throat's hurting, that's why. I was just thinking how sore it is. Basically what I'm trying to say is, it doesn't wash with me, this is where I was going, wasn't I? I think I must be tired. Loyalty, and previous owners, if you like, or Liverpool, old school, whatever you want to say, the game's changed, whatever. But it used to be the case of your captain was the one that everyone looked up to, including your youngsters and stuff like that. And, I believe that, two players like that, your captain, you go like, let's just get that done straight away. You're the captain. You're the most important motherfucker in the team, right? In theory. So, you know, back in the day, these sort of things really didn't happen like this, you know, to be honest with you. And there was incidents, of course there were. There was things that happened, right? Obviously. But Mo Salah, after everything you've done for us, are we really going to like piss around over a year on a contract or 50 grand, 70 grand, whatever? Do you know what I mean? Like, we all know that the club can't just bow to demands. But I can't but help think that this regime, this ownership, these people running the club are trying to show FSG, hey, we're the best negotiators around. You know, you were right to bring us in. And I just think it's, I don't know. I just think it's a little bit embarrassing. I think your captain should be sorted straight away. I think it's a very important one. And I think someone like Mo Salah said, you know what, we really shouldn't give you that extra fucking year, but we'll do it. But if you start tailing off, you'll be on bench and you're off. I'd have a contract negotiation sorted in no time. But we don't know what's really happening, do we, guys? And neither does Ben Jacobs, despite saying revealed what is really happening with the contract talks, because what we know, or what we can assume, is that Liverpool have offered this, they want that, and there has to be a compromise somewhere along the line, and that's it. And it's about who caves first, right? So I think he'll stay, personally. You let me know what you think. So I'm sorry if I've tailed off a little bit with the video there. I genuinely I've got a bit of discomfort in my throat, and maybe I'm just a bit tired. I don't know, but I've had some absolute fucking toilet heads commenting today. So there's an easy solution to that. Is I'll just turn the fucking comments off. I ain't got time for them people anyway. Ironically, YouTube, which back in the day used to be the one that was quite nasty, is actually the most sane place, I think. You get the odd numpty on here, but they're soon disposed of. But Facebook's another level. And it's not just with football, is it? You know, I see it all the time on, news, things that are claimed out here in the news or something. There are people on that, they are actually thick as two short fucking planks. Not everyone, don't take it the wrong way. I'm on fucking Facebook, but I don't behave like these cretins, you know what I'm saying, guys? Right, I'm off. I just did the cough effect there. I can't do a live stream tonight, guys. I would be going live in about half an hour, but no, I'm gonna kick back for a bit. So I just wanted to reveal it. Anyway, so yeah, going back to it very, very briefly, revealed what is really happening with Virgil van Dijk's Liverpool contract talks. I didn't see anything revealed. And I don't see anything any different to what Paul Joyce has told us so far. I think you'd agree with me. If you appreciate the video, please thumbs up the video. Please drop me a comment. And if you want to get me a Lucozade, hit the super thanks button. I don't think I'll be having a drink. But I'm supposed to be going to football on Saturday. I need to be well by Saturday. But yeah, comment, thumbs up. If you want to buy me a coffee, hit the super thanks. I'll give you a shout out in my morning briefing tomorrow. To tell everybody how wonderful you are, and also how stupid you are if you leave a fucking stupid comment on here. And don't forget, my morning briefings are on my other YouTube channel. The link is in the video description. All right, guys, take it easy. Enjoy your evening. I'm going to watch Manchester United versus Real Sociedad. In fact, I'm going to say something else and all. Someone said in the comments on one of my videos, move on from Martin Zubimendi. Who cares? Well, first of all, you cared enough to comment. Secondly, if it's got Martin Zubimendi in the title of the video, there is another clue there that basically says, if you look at it and go, oh, not Martin Zubimendi, don't watch the fucking video. I am interested in what happens in Martin Zubimendi's career, and I know I'm not the only one. So I will talk about what the fuck I want on my own channel. All right? If you don't like that, listen, I don't want to be RC and come across like that. But seriously, coming on here telling me what I can and can't fucking talk about, get the fuck out. All right? Rest of you, speak to you in a bit. All right.